Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. For years, fans of The Bold and the Beautiful have watched this love triangle twist, stall, explode, and reset in almost every way imaginable. It has been one of the most debated, emotionally charged, and endlessly recycled dynamics on the show. But now, something feels different. Not just another pause. Not another temporary separation. This time, all signs point to the triangle finally being over for good. And according to head writer and executive producer Bradley Bell, that ending wasn't rushed, accidental, or done for shock value. It was deliberate, carefully timed, and rooted in long-term storytelling logic that the show has been building toward for quite some time. What makes this moment stand out isn't just who ends up with whom, but the fact that the familiar cycle has been broken. No more bouncing back and forth. No more emotional loopholes that keep all three characters tethered together. The emotional door has been closed, and Bradley Bell has been surprisingly open about why it had to happen now. At the heart of this storyline is exhaustion. Not just for the characters, but for the audience. Bell has acknowledged that while love triangles are a soap opera staple, they only work when there is forward momentum. When a triangle starts looping without genuine evolution, it stops feeling dramatic and starts feeling manipulative. Viewers don't feel suspense anymore. They feel stalled. And that was a red flag the writers could no longer ignore. This particular triangle had reached a point where no choice felt new. Every betrayal echoed a previous one. Every reunion felt temporary before it even happened. Instead of raising stakes, the story was flattening them. Bell explained that when viewers can predict the next breakup or make up beat by beat, the emotional payoff disappears. Ending the triangle wasn't about removing drama. It was about restoring it. Another major factor was character integrity. Over time, all three people involved had been forced into repetitive behavior patterns just to keep the triangle alive. One character constantly forgave what should have been unforgivable. Another repeatedly crossed lines without lasting consequences. And the third was stuck in perpetual emotional limbo, never fully choosing or being chosen. Bell admitted that continuing down that road would have permanently damaged how audiences perceive these characters. Instead of allowing them to grow, the triangle was freezing them in place. Ending it created space for something soaps desperately need to survive long-term: evolution. Characters must be allowed to change, to learn, and sometimes to walk away from dynamics that no longer serve them. Bell emphasized that closure doesn't mean happiness for everyone, but it does mean honesty. And honesty was overdue. What also makes this ending feel final is how clean it is emotionally. There are no secret glances suggesting unfinished business. No ambiguous dialogue hinting at a future reversal. The language, the body language, and the narrative framing all point in one direction. This isn't a never say never soap ending. It's a definitive shift. Bradley Bell revealed that the writers' room discussed multiple exit strategies for the triangle, including the familiar soap tactic of leaving the door cracked open just in case. But ultimately, they decided that doing so would undermine the very point of the story. If the triangle was going to end, it had to truly end. Otherwise, it would feel like another fake out, and fans have become extremely sensitive to those. One of the most interesting insights Bell shared was how audience feedback influenced this decision. Not in a reactionary way, but in a cumulative one. Social media, fan mail, and long-term viewership trends all told the same story. Viewers weren't emotionally invested in the triangle anymore. They were invested in seeing it resolved. There's a big difference between wanting more drama and wanting resolution. And this time resolution won. Ending the triangle also allowed the show to refocus on emotional realism. Bell noted that real people don't stay trapped in the same romantic conflict for decades without it changing them fundamentally. At some point, they either leave, harden, or redefine themselves. By allowing this triangle to end, the writers could explore consequences that actually stick. That doesn't mean the aftermath will be calm or easy. In fact, Bell hinted that the real drama begins after the triangle ends. When characters are no longer distracted by the push and pull of romantic indecision, they're forced to confront the emotional damage left behind. Regret, resentment, guilt, and unresolved anger don't disappear just because a relationship configuration changes. They resurface in new, often more dangerous ways. Another reason this ending feels permanent is that it opens the door to entirely new romantic possibilities that would have been impossible before. As long as the triangle existed, every new love interest felt like filler. Now, future relationships can develop without being overshadowed by an inevitable return to the same three-way conflict. Belle made it clear that the show is looking forward, not backward. There's also a generational storytelling angle at play. The Bold and the Beautiful has always balanced legacy characters with newer faces, but repeating the same triangle indefinitely limits that balance. Ending it creates narrative oxygen for other stories to breathe. Belle admitted that part of the decision was about making room for different types of romance, different kinds of conflict, and different emotional rhythms. Importantly, Belle rejected the idea that ending the triangle was an admission of failure. In his words, some stories are meant to end. Dragging them out beyond their natural lifespan doesn't honor the characters or the audience. He described this conclusion as a completion, not a collapse. The triangle served its purpose, but Belle believes that disappointment will eventually turn into appreciation. There's power in letting go, especially in a genre known for refusing to do so. By closing this chapter decisively, the show is signaling a willingness to evolve rather than recycle. That doesn't mean romance will take a backseat. Far from it. Belle teased that upcoming storylines will dive deeper into emotional complexity than the triangle ever allowed. Without the constant reset button, relationships can build, fracture, and transform in more nuanced ways. Love can still be messy, but it won't be stuck. What stands out most about Belle's comments is confidence. There's no hedging, no "we'll see," no hint that this is temporary. The triangle is done because the story demanded it, not because ratings forced it or actors left. That kind of narrative confidence is rare in daytime television, and it suggests a broader shift in how the show approaches long-running arcs. For viewers who have invested years into this storyline, the end may feel bittersweet, but it also feels earned. Every betrayal, every reconciliation, every emotional standoff led here. And instead of undoing it at the last minute, the show is standing by its choice. In soap operas, endings are often just pauses in disguise. This one isn't. It's a line drawn in the sand. A declaration that some loves burn out, some lessons stick, and some chapters deserve a final page. Whether fans agree with the outcome or not, one thing is clear: this love triangle won't be haunting the show's future. The Bold and the Beautiful is moving on, and according to Bradley Bell, it's doing so with intention, clarity, and a renewed commitment to storytelling that respects both its characters and its audience. And for the first time in a long time, that might be the most dramatic twist of all. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.